In this video, we'll be reviewing all of our enhancements with our ease of activation or our My Patient Visit portal registration process. Keep in mind, all of the changes that we will be reviewing in this video do not apply to the manual create account process. So if patients are going to the mypatientvisit.com website and clicking this create account on the main page, that workflow will remain the same and the changes do not apply to that workflow. All the changes that we will be reviewing do apply to both Nextech Practice Management, Nextcloud, or Select, and it is when the patient clicks on the email create account link or the SMS patient portal registration link. Now let's review our email template. Within this new feature, we did make some changes to the email template just to easily identify to the patient what My Patient Visit is, what tasks that they can expect through the patient portal, and we even added the ability to request a new link electronically. This will not require the patient to go to the practice and request a portal ID. This will be fully electronic. And it will work within 90 days from the original email or texted sent date. From here, when patients now go to create an account, there will be some changes throughout this process. They will still need to verify their identity with the date of birth as well as zip code. Keep in mind, if the patient enters the wrong information here, they will be prompted and they will have 3 attempts to successfully verify their identity before that link is then inactivated and locked. At that point, they would have to request a new link from the practice. Once the patient verifies their identity, now they can actually go through and create an account. Keep in mind, we do require an email address for the new account registration process. This is to simplify the account recovery process and make sure patients can sign back into their accounts. If an email is entered that already matches an existing account on file, we do prompt the patient, letting them know. They can still sign into their account to connect to another practice or add a dependent or another patient to their existing account. Let's go ahead and enter an email. For internal staff, as you are creating test accounts, whether you are onboarding a client or if you're in support and you need to test out My Patient Visit, keep in mind with our Nextech email addresses, you can easily add other characters after your last name, and then this will still be sent to your main inbox. So this is a great way to just kind of keep track of, any test accounts that you have. You can see that I have one labeled here for dev. I have some that have numerical values afterwards. So in this case, I will just, say maybe this is for demo purposes, and then I will do @nextech.com. This applies to our email addresses. I'm not sure if this will work with our clients and, based off where they have their email addresses. From here, once your patient has entered in the email, then they can choose a password. Keep in mind, they will be prompted to verify their password as well. And once they have met all of the requirements, they can now see that that is green. We can easily view our passwords and make sure they match by clicking the eye icon. And once we are ready to create our account, we can now click Create Account. We have removed the security questions, and in place, we have now put in the email verification. So an email will be sent to the email that the patient has entered. Keep in mind, this does not necessarily need to match what the patient has on file with the practice. Once that patient has received that email, they will then have 5 minutes to enter in that validation code. So here we can copy and paste. And enter our validation code. If the patient enters the wrong code, they will be prompted that that is the invalid code. And then we will take that patient directly to our intake work list. And again, so our security questions have been removed, the usernames have been removed. So now the patient can simply create an account with their email address. Once they have created their account, they will now receive a welcome to my patient visit email, where they can see the email address that they used and that this is what they will use going forward to log in to mypatientvisit.com. And that's the update on our new account registration process. Now let's talk about the updates that we've made to the reset password process. Patients that want to recover their account, if they have an email address on file that has been validated, they will be able to go to the Need Help with Your Login to recover their account. Here is where they would enter their email address. And once they have entered an email address, if this matches to an existing account that we have and the email has been validated, we will send a validation code to that email. This is where once they have entered their code, they will then be able to reset their password. And if they don't receive the code, they can try to resend code here or go back in the browser. And now that I have validated that this is still my email and this account does belong to me, I can now move forward with our password reset process. Once that has been successfully reset, the patient will be notified and they will be redirected to the login page. Here is where they can then enter the email address and the new password to log into their account. Now let's talk about password reset and account recovery for any accounts that maybe haven't been migrated to the new email process yet. For any patients that try to recover their account, if they do not receive an email or a validation code, they can still go through the old or the previous recover account process. This will redirect them to our forgot username and password page, and this workflow will still remain the same. They will need additional information like the practice ID, or that's really the practice portal ID, and their specific information. And again, this will just remain in place for any of our patients who have an existing My Patient Visit account, but haven't been able to migrate their account to the new validated email process. Now let's take a look at how existing patients can migrate their account. All patients with an existing My Patient Visit account will be prompted at their next login to migrate their account to the new email process. So here I have an existing username, and once I log in, we will now see the update account prompt. This is where this patient can then decide on the email they would like to use going forward. Once they've entered in an email, we do a quick check just to verify that this email is not already in use. And then we will send that patient a validation code to their existing email address that they have entered. Once that patient receives the code, they can then copy and paste that code directly into the validation. Once they have finished that account migration process, they will now be able to access their patient, and they will also receive a new email notifying them that their account migration was successful and with the new email that they will use to log in going forward. And those were all the changes and enhancements that our patients can expect with the new ease of activation.